Alright, so any of you remember the video that I made where I talked about an exciting Cold War FPS game being put on hold for some pretty sad reasons? That game was called 83 and at its core was a realistic all-out multiplayer Cold War shooter with tons of vehicles, different maps and weapons that are true to that era. 83 is a game that's being created by the Rising Storm 2 Vietnam developers, and man does it look great. People are still super excited for it, of course, because the creators have a great track record. If you just forget, they don't make any more updates for Rising Storm. But turns out the studio wanted to focus their attention on a single-player Cold War FPS game other than 83. In my opinion, 83 was much more weighted and advanced development-wise than this single-player FPS. But anyway, we're not here to talk about their decisions, but rather the single-player FPS that they're making right now, which is IGI Origins. And we've just received some really great news concerning this game, including its reveal window, and they seem pretty passionate about making this project, so let's get into it. Huge reminder that the very first IGI game released in 2000, so it has been 22 years since we haven't seen an actual continuation or something tied to the story and gameplay of the original, and it seems they really want this new game to feel like the old school classics. They will use a ton of brand new gameplay features, but are also staying true to the series and not just adding popular gameplay features from modern games for the sake of it. IGI Origins will be using gaming's latest technology with Unreal Engine 5, which will allow the developers to create a more dense, alive and beautiful world with tons of NPCs, enemies and such, and with a lot more varied gameplay elements, both with classic stuff returning and new things added along the way. IGI Origins has just received a new update video on Antimatter Games YouTube channel, confirming the game will be getting its first gameplay reveal this September next month. The update also talks about how much effort the developers are doing to stay true to the classic characters and plot. While the main character of the first game, David Jones, won't be in the game, the plot will feature a lot of well-known faces. The game will also be a stealth FPS game at its core. It's not a run and gun, nor is it just a simple FPS shooting game. One false move and you could be in a lot of trouble, so get the right gadgets, the right weapons and equipment before taking on the many missions available. You will be going deep into the origins of the Institute for Global Intelligence, reimagining a pioneer of the tactical first-person shooter genre. The game's description says, "You are Michael King, codename Regent, an ex-SIS soldier recruited by MI6 for covert global missions to target an enemy with a world war in their sights. Armed with a sophisticated arsenal to divert, outsmart, or wipe out your adversaries, you'll decide your approach, ghost-like espionage or heavy firefights. Twisted action raises question over the true enemy and harden your resolve against a shifting, hostile world." It said they want this game to be the ultimate soul espionage experience there is, in an uncompromising world where every mistake made changes the whole mission in drastic ways. It's extremely centered on realism, where everything you do is important and could also mean death. While the game is mainly stealth again, of course if you do get spotted you'll be able to go all out and try your best, but it will be a lot more difficult. Every mission in the story will be in a huge map to explore, where different opportunities are offered to you. Alright guys, if you'd like me to cover the gameplay footage of IGI Origin when it releases, make sure you guys support this video and of course subscribe. I'll talk to you all very soon.